Luke runs taking the lead. These AI drivers are putting on quite a show. Twix 560 from Team Bolt Bucket Motorsports has moved up to 7p, overtaking Finham Luki. Susanne Greenberg has moved up to 5p, overtaking Amin San. Neo Texum has moved up to 9p, overtaking Amy. Amy has moved up to 10p, overtaking John 073. Buxisro is fighting Sabine 27 for the top spot. Susanne Greenberg climbs to 4p, passing Sarayan Bot from Team Death Robots. Susanne Greenberg and Sarayan Bot from Team Death Robots are competing for 4p. Roman's now in 13th after overtaking Meyer. V4L3NA now in 16th after overtaking Unarawekasul. MYST149 now in 20th after overtaking Ptainalo. Sabine 27 and Luke Runs are in a close battle for second place, with Sabine 27 in a Chinook MK2 and Luke Runs in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Susanne Greenberg and Sarayan Bot from Team Death Robots are fighting for fourth place, with Susanne Greenberg in a Chinook MK2 and Sarayan Bot in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Finham Luki has made a move up to 7th place, overtaking Twix 560. Sabine 27 from Team Blast has taken the lead, passing Buxisro. Amy has climbed to 9th place, overtaking Neo Texum. Gary 710 now sits in 15th position after passing V4L3NA. Hey there, Roya Keith. Welcome back to the channel. Great to have you back with us for some more high-speed action. Let's dive into the race and see who's going to take the checkered flag today. Luke Runs and Buxisro are neck and neck for second place. Meanwhile, Amy has advanced to 8th place, overtaking Finham Luki. Currently, Amy and Finham Luki are fiercely competing for the 8th spot. Daron again makes an impressive move, overtaking for cars to secure 18p. Maya slips back 7 positions to 21p. Twix 560 advances to 7p, overtaking Amy. Bot, U20 Plays is making a strong move, narrowing the gap to cat_TV by 6.8. Finham Luki has advanced to 8p, passing Amy. A tight battle between Finham Luki and Amy for the 8th position. Buxisro has made a strong push, surpassing Luke Runs to secure the 2nd spot. There's a heated battle for 4th place between Susanne Greenberg and Sarayan Bot. Exciting developments on the track. Luke Runs makes a strong move to grab 2p from Buxisro. A heated battle between them. Neo Texum and Romans are also locked in a tight duel for 10p. Exciting dynamics shaping up as the race progresses. Sabine 27 is now leading the pack, surpassing Luke Runs for 1st place. Buxisro and Susanne Greenberg are engaged in a tight contest for 3rd place. Daron again and MYST149 are dueling for the 18th spot, with Daron again in a Chinook MK2 and MYST149 in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Low Sprout is making moves, closing in on Jassac 72 by 6.7. Luke Runs and Buxisro are locked in a tight battle for 2p, with Luke Runs in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco and Buxisro in a Chinook MK2. Buxisro and Susanne Greenberg are fighting it out for 3p. Susanne Greenberg has moved up to 2p, overtaking Bucksize Row. Finam Luki has moved up to 6p, overtaking Amy. Amy has moved up to 7p, overtaking Amin San. Sarayan Bot and Amin San are neck and neck for 5p. Finam Luki has made a move up to 7p, passing Amy. Romance has also climbed to 9p, surpassing Twix 560. Unaro Ekasuel and Gary 710 are locked in an intense fight for the 15th position. Unaro Ekasuel is piloting a Porsche 906, while Gary 710 is behind the wheel of a Lola T290. Neo Texan and Noga 77 are neck and neck for 11p, with Neo Texan in the Porsche 906 and Noga 77 in the Lola T290. Meanwhile, Gary 710 has made a move and is now in 15p after overtaking Unaro Ekasuel. They are having their own battle for 15p, with Gary 710 in a Lola T290 and Unaro Ekasuel in a Porsche 906. Bucksize Row has taken the lead from Sabine 27. Susanne Greenberg has also made a move, securing the third position by overtaking Luke Runs. Sabine 27 takes the lead from Bucksize Row. It's a tight battle at the front. Over in 5th place, Sarayan Bot and Amin San are fighting it out in their historic cars. Sabine 27 and Bucksize Row are neck and neck for the lead. Sarayan Bot and Amin San are scrapping it out for 5th place. Noga 77 and Neo Texan are locked in a duel for 11th position. Sabine 27 from Team Blast and Bucksize Row are neck and neck for the lead. Luke Runs has made a move to secure 3rd place, passing Amin San. In response, Amin San has overtaken Sarayan Bot to claim 4th position. Susanne Greenberg has impressively overtaken 4 cars and is now in 3rd place. Susanne Greenberg has now taken the 3rd position from Luke Runs. It's a tight battle for 5th place between Sarayan Bot in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco and Amin San driving a Porsche 909 Berg Spider for Team Navgum Kings. Hey there, welcome back AFRO. Glad to have you back in the race car spectating squad. Let's enjoy the thrilling AI races together. Checkered Flag Automobile. Sabine 27 now leads the pack after overtaking Bucksize Row. Amin San has jumped to 5th after passing Sarayan Bot. John 073 is up to 11th, overtaking Nova 77. Luke Runs has climbed to 3rd place, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Sarayan Bot has also made a move up to 5th place, passing Amin San. Vex 0v0 ID has advanced to 16th place, overtaking Gary 710. V4L3N from Team Navgum Kings has advanced to 13p, overtaking Neo Texan. Gary 710 has moved up to 16p, overtaking Vex 0v0 ID. Cat TV and Jazzsax 72 are currently engaged in a battle for 27p. Gary_710 from Team for 20 has advanced to 15p, passing Unaro Ekasuel. The two are now locked in a battle for the 15th position. In another duel, White and Lacroix in 1980 are fiercely contesting the 23rd spot. Jazzsax 72 has slipped down to 35p, facing some challenges there. Meanwhile, V4L3NA has made a strong move up to 12p, overtaking Noga's 77. The battle for 12p continues between V4L3NA and Noga's 77. Amy has advanced to 8p, passing Romans. V4L3NA and Gary 710 are contesting for 13p. MYST149 has progressed to 16p, overtaking Unaro Ekasul. Lospraj is making a speedy advance, closing in on Cat TV by 549.0 units. The Porsche 909 Bergspider and Lola T290 are neck and neck in the fight for 11p between Jump 073 and Noga's 77. Meanwhile, Gary 710 and V4L3NA are locked in a battle for 13p. MYST149 is struggling, dropping 6 places to 27p. Botara Raphael is gaining on Bot, U20 plays, closing the gap by 594.5. V4L3NA has advanced to 13p, overtaking Neo Texan. Bot Gaming Tofaikanser is making a strong move, closing the gap on Bot Tokadokabri by 590.1 units. Noga 77 and V4L3N are locked in a battle for 12p, while Gary 710 has advanced to 14p, overtaking Neo Texan. Lospraj is making a strong move, reducing the gap to MYST149 by 31.1. Meanwhile, V4L3NA has climbed to 12p, overtaking Noga's 77. There's a fierce battle between V4L3NA and Noga's 77 for 12p. Twix 560 has made a great move, overtaking Romans and taking the 9th position. They are now locked in a battle for that spot. Twix 560 and Romans are fiercely battling for the 9th place. Jump 073 has made a move up to 11th, successfully overtaking V4L3NA. Meyer has also progressed to 19th place after overtaking Super Lacroix. Menemais Peter has made a big move, advancing to 23p by overtaking WEC. Neo Texan from Team Navgum Kings and Vex 0v0 ID are currently in a tight battle for the 15th position. Sarayanbot and Aminsan are neck and neck for 5p, with Sarayanbot in the Cooper Type 61 Monaco and Aminsan in the Porsche 909 Bergspider. Jump 073 has made moves to 10p, overtaking Romans. Now, Jump 073 and Romans are battling it out for 10p, with Jump 073 driving a Porsche 909 Bergspider and Romans in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Jump 073 advances to 10th place, surpassing Romans. Both are in a heated duel for the position. Gary_710 climbs to 14th after overtaking Neo Texan. Buxisro takes the lead, passing Luke Runs. Luke Runs responds and moves up to 2p, overtaking Sabine 27. It's a close battle for 2nd place between Luke Runs and Sabine 27 in their Cooper Type 61 Monaco and Chinook NK2, respectively. Luke Runs secures the 2nd position, overtaking Aminsan. Aminsan now holds the 3rd spot after passing Sarayanbot. Sarayanbot moves up to 4th, overtaking Finamuki. Sabine 27 has dropped to 13th place, while Susanne Greenberg is now in 16th. Twix 560 has made a move, now in 7th position after passing Romans. Gary 710 from Team 420 has made a move up to 11p, overtaking Nogus 77. Super Lacroix has advanced to 16p, passing Meyer. Gary 710 and Nogus 77 are now in a battle for 11p. Cat_TV is making a swift move, overtaking for cars to secure 23rd place. Meanwhile, Vex0v0ID has encountered difficulties, dropping 7 positions to 26th, and Lacroix 1980 also faces challenges, slipping 6 positions to 27th. Daron again is making a strong move, closing in on René Maispeter by 587.3 units. Meanwhile, Jump073 has climbed to 8p, overtaking Romans. The battle for 8p is heating up between Jump073 in a Porsche 909 Bergspider and Romans in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Noga77 and Gary_710 are engaged in a fierce battle for the 11th position. Meanwhile, Danilo has made a move up to 21st place, overtaking WAC. Now, Danilo and WAC are locked in a duel for the 21st spot, with Danilo in a Porsche 906 and WAC in a Lola T290. Lacroix 1980 from Team Blast is making a strong push to catch up to Daron, closing the gap by 572.2. Amin San has made a move to take the lead, overtaking Luke Runs. Sarayan Bot is climbing the ranks, now in 3p after overtaking Buck Sizero. John073 has made a swift move, overtaking 6 cars to secure the 2nd position. Neo Texan is also on the rise, overtaking 9 cars to claim 3rd place. Sabine 27 is showing great progress, overtaking 11 cars to secure the 4th position. Sarayan Bot makes a strong move, overtaking 4 cars to secure 11p. Finam Luki isn't far behind, overtaking 5 cars to claim 12p. On the other hand, V4L3NA seems to be struggling, dropping back 6 places to 16p. Danilo is closing in on Romans, narrowing the gap by 5.4. Daron is on a move, overtaking 5 cars to take 19p. Bot, U20 Plays is rapidly catching up to Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by 585.3. MYST149 is making a significant move, closing the gap on Gary 710 by 36.7. Meanwhile, Bot, Trash Crash 10 is rapidly catching up to Botara Raphael, reducing the gap by 593.4. Also, Bot Gaming Tofaikanser is swiftly closing in on Bot Tokadokabri, with a reduction of 583.5. Jump073 takes the lead from Amin San. Susanne Greenberg advances to 7th place, passing Super Lacroix. Lacroix 1980 of Team Blast climbs to 23rd place, overtaking WAC. Neo Texum has advanced to 2nd place, surpassing Sabine 27. Following this, Sabine 27 has now jumped to 3rd place, overtaking Jump073. Neo Texum is now just 7.8 seconds behind Sabine 27. Bottle Sprout is gaining fast on Mukembakken, closing the gap by 42.8 seconds. Sabine 27 has surged to first place, overtaking Neo Texan. Suzanne Greenberg has advanced to 5th place, overtaking Super Lacroix. In response, Super Lacroix has now moved up to 6th, overtaking Amin San. Additionally, Meyer from Team Death Robots has climbed to 8th place, passing Luke Runs. Amy has advanced to 12p, passing John 073. Noga 77 has progressed to 17p, overtaking Ptanilo. Daran is making gains on Ptanilo, reducing the gap by 3.7. V4L3NA has advanced to 18p, overtaking Daran. Gary 710 has ascended to 20p, surpassing NYST 149. NYST 149 now holds 21p, overtaking Ptanilo. Luke Runs and Surian Bot are in a tussle for the 9th position. Lacroix 1980 has advanced to 22nd place, overtaking Ptanilo. Meanwhile, Ptanilo and Weck are engaged in a skirmish for 23rd place, with Ptanilo in a Porsche 906 and Weck in a Lola T290. Surian Bot has made a move up to 9p, passing Luke Runs. Looks like there's a battle brewing for that position. Buxizro has claimed the 3rd spot from Unaro Ekasul in the exciting battle. Noga 77 has made a move, now in 16th place after overtaking Malay Maispeter. Buxizro and Unaro Ekasul are locked in a battle for 3p, with Buxizro piloting a Chinook MK2 and Unaro Ekasul behind the wheel of a Porsche 906. Super Lacroix has made a move up to 5p by overtaking Suzanne Greenberg. Additionally, Noga 77 has advanced to 15p after overtaking Ramos. Amin San from Team Nathgum Kings overtakes Surian Bot for 4p. Surian Bot swiftly moves up to 5p, passing Luke Runs. In the meantime, Luke Runs climbs to 6p, overtaking Unaro Ekasul. Neo Texan is making a significant push, closing in on Twix 560 by 12.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Unaro Ekasul seems to be struggling, dropping 7 positions to 16p. In an impressive maneuver, John 073 has moved up to 9p, overtaking Twix 560. Gary 710 makes a move, climbing to 18p, overtaking Unaro Ekasul. MYST 149 advances to 20p, overtaking Malay Maispeter. New Kembocken gains ground, now at 24p after overtaking Ptanilo. Lacroix 1980 has advanced to 21p, passing Weck. Weck has advanced to 22p, passing New Kembocken. New Kembocken from Team Death Robots has advanced to 23p, passing Malay Maispeter. John 073 makes a move up to 8p, overtaking Amy. Meanwhile, Gary 710 advances to 17p, surpassing Daran once again. Lacroix 1980 is closing in on NYST 149, reducing the gap by 16.2 seconds. New Kembocken has advanced to 21p, passing Lacroix 1980. John 073 makes a bold move, climbing to 7p by overtaking Fanamuki from Team Blue Star. Both drivers are fiercely contesting for the position. Meanwhile, a heated battle is also taking place between Daron again and Gary 710 for 17p. Exciting developments on the track. Low Spread is making a speedy move, closing in on Manamai Speecher by 23.0 units. Amy has advanced to 8p, surpassing Finnamuki. Amy and Finnamuki are locked in a battle for 8p. Finnamuki overtakes Amy and secures the 8th position. Meanwhile, V4L3NA moves up to 13th place by overtaking Romans. Botara Raphael is making a strong move, closing the gap to Bottle Sprout by 24.0. Gary 710 has advanced to 17p, surpassing Daron. Manamai Speecher also made gains, moving up to 24p by overtaking Danilo. Romans and Super Lacroix are locked in a tight battle for 14th place. Lacroix 1980 and Wipe are fiercely competing for the 22nd position, while Manamai Speecher and Danilo are in a close fight for 24th place. Buxizero has taken the lead from Sabine 27. They are in an intense battle for first place. Super Lacroix has made a move up to 14th, passing Romans. Bot Tokidokibri is making a swift move, catching up to Bot Trash Crash 10 by shrinking the gap by 46.3 units. Buxizero and Sabine 27 are fiercely competing for the top spot. Meanwhile, Super Lacroix and Romans are engaged in an intense battle for the 14th position, with their Porsche 906 and Cooper Type 61 Monaco respectively. Bot Gaming Tofightcancer is making a strong move, closing the gap to Bot Tokidokibri by 52.5 units. Finnamuki has advanced to 7p, surpassing John 073. Twix 560 has also made progress, moving up to 9p and overtaking Amy in the process. Twix 560 has advanced to 8p, passing Finnamuki. Lacroix 1980 has climbed to 22p, overtaking Web. Manamai Speecher has risen to 24p, surpassing Danilo. Meyer has advanced to 15p, overtaking Romans. Lacroix 1980 has progressed to 22p, surpassing Web. There's a duel between Manamai Speecher and Danilo for 24p. Lacroix 1980 and Wipe are neck and neck for the 22nd position. Bot Trash Crash 10 has advanced to 29th place, surpassing Botara Raphael. Jessax 72 has made progress to 34th place, overtaking Vex 0v0 ID. Jessax 72 is on the move, narrowing the gap to Cat TV by 498.8. Gary 710 has climbed to 16p, passing Romans. Unaroekasul is making gains, now in 18p after overtaking Daron once more. Amin-san has climbed to 2p, passing Sarayan Bot. Sarayan Bot has advanced to 3p, overtaking Sabine 27. Luke Rungs is now in 5p after overtaking Susanne Greenberg. John 073 is closing in on Susanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 5.4 seconds. Luke Rungs has made a move to take the 4th position, overtaking Sabine 27 from Team Blast. Twix 560 has passed John 073 and is now in 5th place. Finamluki has also overtaken me and moved into 7th position. Meyer in the Porsche 906 is engaged in a tight battle for 15th position with Gary 710 in the lower T290. Gary 710 from Team for 20 overtakes Meyer, securing the 15th position in a battle between lower T290 and Porsche 906. Meanwhile, NYST1 for 9 advances to 19th place, overtaking Daron once more. Newcambachen has advanced to 20p, overtaking Daron once more. Meanwhile, Weib has also made progress, moving up to 22p after overtaking Lacroix 1980. Amy has advanced to position 7, surpassing Finamluki. Weib has made progress to position 21, overtaking Ptainalo. Ptainalo has moved up to position 22, passing Menemai Peter. Cat TV is making a strong move, closing the gap by 61.4 to Battara Raphael. Amin San has taken the lead, passing Sarayan Bot. In turn, Sarayan Bot overtakes Luke Runs for the 2nd position. Amin San from Team Navgum Kings is now leading the race, overtaking Sarayan Bot from Team Death Robots, who's now in 2nd place. Twix 560 from Team Bolt Bucket Motorsports has moved up to 4th place, successfully passing Jump 073. Twix 560 now in 4p after overtaking Jump 073. Jump 073 retaliates and moves up to 5p, passing Buckseyes Row. Susanne Greenberg advances to 10p, surpassing Sabine 27. Amy is rapidly closing in on Buckseyes Row, reducing the gap by 7.8. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 has made a solid move up to 10th place, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Cat TV has reduced the gap to Battara Raphael by 2.3. Onoro Ekasul has made a move, now in 17p overtaking Romans. They're battling it out for 17p, with Onoro Ekasul in a Porsche 906 and Romans in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. Cat_TV is making some impressive moves, narrowing the gap to Battara Raphael by 2.4. Amy has been overtaken by Buckseyes Row, who now holds 6p. It's an exciting battle between Buckseyes Row in a Chinook MK2 and Amy driving a lower T290. Elsewhere, NYST1 for 9 has made a move, overtaking Onoro Ekasul to secure 18p. Buckseyes Row and Amy are in a tight battle for the 6th spot, with Buckseyes Row driving a Chinook MK2 and Amy in a lower T290. Meanwhile, Cat TV is making gains on Battara Raphael, reducing the gap by 3.0 seconds. We've got a tight race with Amin San, Sarayan Bot, and Luke Runs leading the pack in the opening laps. Let's see if they can maintain the pace. Luke Runs has impressively taken 2nd place from Sarayan Bot. Meanwhile, Jump 073 is steadily closing in on Twix 560, reducing the gap by 3.3. Finamluki has also made a significant move, climbing to 6th position after overtaking Buckseyes Row. Neo Texan makes a strong move, overtaking for cars to secure the 4th position. Sabine 27 follows suit, also passing for cars to claim the 5th spot. Susanne Greenberg mirrors the others, overtaking for cars to grab the 6th position. Meyer is making a swift climb, passing 7 cars to secure the 10th position. Meanwhile, Onuru Ekasuel is also on the move, overtaking 7 cars to grab 12th place. Additionally, V4L3NA is steadily narrowing the gap with Onuru Ekasuel by 9.1 seconds. Danilo is making a strong push, reducing the gap to Newkenbakken by 5.4. Twix 560 has advanced to 13th place, surpassing Amy. Amy has also made progress, now in 14th position, overtaking Nulgus 77. Understood. Bot Tokadokabri is closing in on Bot Gaminto Fikenser by 6.1. Jazzsax 72 is gaining on Bot Ara Raphael, reducing the gap by 515.0. Susanne Greenberg has advanced to 5p, overtaking Neo Texum. Lacroix 1980 is rapidly closing in on WEC, reducing the gap by 30.6 seconds. Lacroix 1980 is making a strong move, narrowing the gap to WEC by 9.4. Sabine 27 has advanced to 3rd place, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Susanne Greenberg has climbed to 4th place, surpassing Neo Texum from Team Nafgum Kings. Susanne Greenberg and Sabine 27 are in a tight battle for 3p. Luke Runs has made a move to 6p, overtaking Super Lacroix. Super Lacroix then advanced to 7p, overtaking Sir Iron Bot. Hey, welcome back, someone. Great to have you back in the race car spectating action. Racing car party popper. Onuru Ekasuel is making significant progress, closing the gap to Finnamuki by 28.4. However, Finnamuki has responded by overtaking Onuru Ekasuel and moving up to 10p. Danilo jumps to 16th, passing V4L3NA. V4L3NA advances to 17th, overtaking MYST149. MYST149 climbs to 18th, surpassing Mane Maispeter. MYST149 is making gains on V4L3NA, reducing the gap by 2.3. Daram is on the move, now at 20p, surpassing Romance. Meanwhile, Romance has advanced to 21p, overtaking Jump 073. Newkenbakken has advanced to 22p, surpassing WEC. WEC has progressed to 23p, passing Jump 073. Botara Raphael is making a strong move, closing in on Jazzsax 72 by 5.3. Meanwhile, Lacroix 1980 from Team Blast has advanced to 24p, overtaking Jump 073. The competition is heating up. Buxizro from the Nafgum Kings has taken the lead, surpassing Amin San. A fierce battle for 3rd place is on between Susanne Greenberg and Sabine 27. Meanwhile, Luke Runs has made a move up to 5th place, overtaking Neo Texum. Susanne Greenberg has made a bold move, securing 2p by overtaking Sabine 27. In response, Sabine 27 swiftly reclaimed the position, sending Amin San back to contend for 3p. Sabine 27's Chinook MK2 is in a heated battle with Amin San's Porsche 909 Bergspider. Luke is making a move, closing in on Amin San and reducing the gap by 3.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Maya's picking up speed, overtaking Unaro Ekasuel and moving up to 9th place. Noga 77 and Gary _710 are locked in a tight battle for the 14th position. Noga 77 and Gary _710 are neck and neck, fighting it out for the 14th position. Gary 710 from Team for 20 has made a move, now up to 14p, overtaking Noga 77. It's a battle for 14p between Gary 710 and Noga 77. Noga 77 and Gary 710 are currently in a tight battle for the 14th position. Noga 77 and Gary 710 are locked in a close competition for the 14th position. Noga 77 and Gary 710 are currently engaged in a battle for the 14th position. Amin San secures the 3rd position by overtaking Sabine 27. Meanwhile, Gary 710 makes a move up to 14th place, passing Noga 77. Now, Gary 710 and Noga 77 are in a battle for the 14th position. Sabine 27 is now in 3p after a successful overtake on Amin San. Meanwhile, Amin San and Neo Texum are locked in a battle for 4p, both driving Porsche models. Exciting developments. Amy from Team Death Robots has advanced to 12p, surpassing Twix 560. Twix 560 from Team Bolt Bucket Motorsports has advanced to 12p, successfully overtaking Amy. Noga 77 has climbed to 14p, overtaking Gary 710. Bot U20 Plays has now reached 26p, surpassing John 073. Sabine 27 now in 2nd place, surpassing Susanne Greenberg. Sabine 27 and Susanne Greenberg are in a battle for 2p. Gary 710 has advanced to 14p, overtaking Noga 77. Susanne Greenberg and Sabine 27 from Team Blast are battling it out for 2p. My Name is Peter has moved up to 18p, overtaking Daron again. Daron again has moved up to 19p, overtaking Roman FS. Nukem Bakum from Team Death Robots is making a strong move, closing the gap by 38.4 to Patanalo. Meanwhile, Susanne Greenberg and Sabine 27 from Team Blast are locked in a battle for 2p. The competition is heating up. Amin San has successfully overtaken Sabine 27, securing 2p. Luke Runs has also made a move, overtaking Neo Texum for 5p. Luke Runs has made a move and is now in 3rd place, surpassing Sarayan Bot. Sarayan Bot responds by securing 4th position, overtaking Sabine 27. Maya gains ground, climbing to 8th place after overtaking Unaro Ekasuel. What a race, everyone! Incredible battles out there on the track. keep the banter going, let's enjoy every moment of this intense action. Finamluki is really making moves, overtaking for cars to secure 7th position. Meanwhile, Unaroekasul has climbed to 9th after overtaking Meyer. Amy from Team Death Robots now in 10p, surpassing Super Lacroix. Gary 710 from Team for 20 now in 12p, passing Nogus 77. Nogus 77 now in 13p, overtaking Meyer from Team Death Robots. MYST 1 for 9 has advanced to 16p, overtaking Unaroekasul. Daron is making a strong push, closing in on Unaroekasul by 50.8 units. Finamluki has surged to 6p, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. The Lola T290 and Chinook MK2 are locked in a battle for 6p. Danilo making a move, now in 19th place after overtaking Daron once more. Newcambochum is pushing on the pressure, closing in on Mane Peter by reducing the gap to 4.5 seconds. Amin San has moved up to 1p, overtaking Buxize Row. Susanne Greenberg has moved up to 6p, overtaking Finamluki. Wyke has moved up to 22p, overtaking Daron again. Luke Runs has advanced to the 2nd position, successfully overtaking Sarayan Bot. Cat TV has also made progress, now in 31st place, after overtaking John 073. Sabine 27 is catching up to Buxize Row, decreasing the gap by 30.0. Neo Texum has made a move, now in 7p after overtaking Finamluki. Sabine 27 is closing the gap on Buxize Row by 11.9. Boplo Spread is closing in on Lacroix 1980 by 374.7. John 073 is reeling in Cat TV, closing the gap by 596.4. Nogus 77 has been overtaken by Gary _710, who has now advanced to the 12th position. Jessax 72 has made an impressive surge, reducing the gap to John 073 by 562.6 units. The gap between Jessax 72 and John 073 has decreased by 2.1. Romance is making a move, rapidly closing the gap on Unaroekasul by 2.0. Bot, U20 Plays is continuing to narrow the gap on Bottle Sprout, reducing it by 12.3 seconds. The race for position is intensifying as they jockey for advantage. Sabine 27 has advanced to 4p, surpassing Buxize Row. Buxize Row has advanced to 4th place, surpassing Sabine 27. Susanne Greenberg is now in 6p after overtaking Finamluki. Amy has advanced to 9p, surpassing Twix 560. Finamluki in the Lolo T290 and Neo Texum in the Porsche 906 are fighting for the 7th position. Super Lacroix with the Porsche 906 and Gary 710 with the Lolo T290 are locked in a battle for 11th place. Meanwhile, Meyer in the Porsche 906 and V4L3NA in the Lolo T290 are battling it out for the 14th spot. Amy is chasing down Neo Texum, narrowing the gap by 2.5. Super Lacroix has advanced to 11p, passing Gary 710. Super Lacroix in a Porsche 906 and Gary 710 from Team for 20 are battling for 11p. Super Lacroix has made a solid move up to 11p, leaving Gary 710 behind. The Porsche 906 is showing some impressive performance against the Lolo T290. Gary 710 has made a move up to 11p, successfully overtaking Super Lacroix. Amin San from Team Nafgum Kings, Luke Runs, and Sir Ian Bott are leading the pack as the race kicks off. Let's see if they can hold onto their positions. Low Sprout is rapidly catching up to Lacroix 1980, reducing the gap by 599.2. Luke Runs has surged to 2p, passing Sir Ian Bott. Finamluki has advanced to 7p, overtaking Twix 560. Twix 560 is now in 7th place after overtaking Finamluki. Meanwhile, Doron again has climbed to 22nd, passing Wagp. There's a close battle between Doron again in a Chinook MK2 and Wagp in a Lolo T290 for the 22nd spot. Sabine 27 has moved up to 3p, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Susanne Greenberg has moved up to 4p, overtaking Luke Runs. Neo Texum has moved up to 7p, overtaking Twix 560. Meyer from Team Death Robots has surged up, passing 5 cars to secure 9p. Sabine 27 and Susanne Greenberg are locked in a battle for 3p. Super Lacroix has made a strong move, now in 8p after overtaking Meyer. Onoro Ekasuel advances to 10th place after overtaking 7 cars. Finamluki moves into 11th place after passing 4 cars. Susanne Greenberg climbs to 3rd place, overtaking Sabine 27. MYST 149 is hot on the heels of Ptanalo, reducing the gap by 6.9. Sabine 27 has made a move to secure 3p, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Sabine 27 and Susanne Greenberg are engaged in a battle for 3p. Val3N is making a strong push, closing in on MYST 149 by 30.1 units. Meanwhile, Bot Tokadokabri is also gaining ground on Bot Trash Crash 10, reducing the gap by 33.4. And it looks like Val3N is still reeling in MYST 149, closing the gap by 30.1. Sabine 27 and Susanne Greenberg are fighting for 3p, while Bot Tokadokabri is catching up to Bot Trash Crash 10, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Jond073 is making a big move, closing in on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert by reducing the gap by 386.6 units. Jond073 is rapidly gaining on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, reducing the gap by 6.3 seconds. Lacroix 1980 from Team Blast is making a speedy advance, reducing the gap to Wipe by 29.6. Jump 073 is closing in on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Amy from Team Death Robots has successfully advanced to the 11th position, overtaking Finam Luki. Finam Luki from Team Blue Star now in 11p, overtaking Twix 560. Twix 560 moving up to 12p, overtaking Amy. Jump 073 closing in on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 2.1. Amy has advanced to 12p, overtaking Twix 560. There's a close battle between Amy in a Lola T290 and Twix 560 in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco for 12p. Jump 073 is gaining on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Jump 073 is making a strong effort, closing the gap by 5.8 seconds against Bot Gaming till Fight Concern. Amy and Twix 560 are locked in a tight battle for 12th place. Also, V4L3N has advanced to 17th position, overtaking NYST 149. Gary 710 is making a strong push, cutting the gap to Amy by 593.7. Meanwhile, Jump 073 is closing in on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 6.7. Gary 710 continues to close in on Amy, now trailing by 593.7. Manamais Peter is closing in on NYST 149, reducing the gap by 594.7. Jump 073 is narrowing the distance to Bot Gaming till Fight Concern by 8.0. Sarayan Bot has advanced to 6p, overtaking Neo Texan. Nukem Bakum is really making a move, closing in on Romans with a massive 573.6 reduction in the gap. Meanwhile, Jump 073 is also gaining ground on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 5.2. It's all about those incremental gains. Wipe is making impressive progress, reducing the gap to Nukem Bakum by 587.0. Meanwhile, V4L3NA has advanced to 15p, overtaking Ptainalo. And once again, Wipe is reeling in Nukem Bakum, closing the gap by 587.0. Lacroix 1980 is making a strong move, reducing the gap to Wipe by 568.2 units. Also, Jump 073 is gaining on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, closing in by 5.3 units. It's getting intense out there. Jump 073 is closing in on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, reducing the gap by 3.4 seconds. Buxizero is rapidly closing in on Amin San, reducing the gap by 35.5. Sarayan Bot has made a slick move, securing the 5th position by parsing Luke runs. Susanne Greenberg has been overtaken by Sarayan Bot, who now holds 5p. Sarayan Bot takes the 4th position from Neo Texan. Neo Texan counterattacks and moves to 5th, overtaking Sabine 27. Looks like Jump 073 is making a move, closing in on Bot Gaming till Fight Concern, narrowing the gap by 4.4 seconds. Super Lacroix making a move, now in 6p after overtaking Sabine 27. Myers also climbing the ranks, now in 8p after overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Hey there, welcome back, someone. It's great to have you back joining us for some high-speed action. Let's catch up on the racing shenanigans together. Onoro Ekasuel is making significant gains, closing the gap on Susanne Greenberg by 40.5 units. Sabine 27 has overtaken Super Lacroix and is now in 6th place. The competition is heating up. Bot, U20 Plays is making significant strides, closing in on Bottle's spread by 599.2 units. Meanwhile, Nolga 77 and Danilo are locked in a tight battle for the 14th spot, with their Lola T290 and Porsche 906 respectively. Exciting developments on the track. Someone said, "Hey Amy, can you just call me Pizza?" Alright Pizza, that's a pretty tasty name. John073 is closing in on Bot Gaming to Falkenser, reducing the gap by 5.3 seconds. Danilo has advanced to 14p, overtaking Nogus 77. Romans has moved up to 19p, overtaking Daron again. Jump073 is making a strong move, closing in on Bot Gaming to Falkenser by 5.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Luke Runs has jumped to 2p, overtaking Sarayan Bot. Sarayan Bot in turn has moved up to 3p, overtaking Bucksize Row. White is making a significant move, closing the gap to Daron by 38.4 units. Meanwhile, Sarayan Bot is catching up to Luke Runs, reducing the gap by 2.2 units. Neo Texum has climbed to 4p, overtaking Bucksize Row in the process. Sabine 27 is closing in on Bucksize Row, reducing the gap by 4.8. Meyer has advanced to 8p, overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Amy has advanced to 11p, overtaking Finam Luki. Botlol Spread has advanced to 24p, surpassing Bot, U20 Plays. Bot, U20 Plays has progressed to 25p, overtaking Twix 560. Bot Gaming to Falkenser has been overtaken by John073. Sabine 27 and Bucksize Row are fiercely battling for the 5th position. Meanwhile, John073 is gaining ground on Bot Gaming to Falkenser, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds. John073 has successfully reduced the gap to Bot Gaming to Falkenser by 2.6. John073 is closing in on Bot Gaming to Falkenser, reducing the gap by 3.3 seconds. Sabine 27 is making solid progress, now in 4th place after overtaking Neo Texum. Meanwhile, Danilo and Noga 77 are locked in a fierce battle for 14th position, with Danilo's Porsche 906 going wheel-to-wheel with Noga 77's Lola T290. John073 is making a strong push, closing the gap on Bot Gaming to Falkenser by 4.3. Meyer and Susanne Greenberg are in a heated battle for 8th place. Meanwhile, Jump073 is steadily closing the gap by 3.1 seconds behind bot gaming Tofightconcer. Bot, TrushCrash10 is making a strong move, closing the gap to bot, U20 plays by 525.0 units. Suzanne Greenberg made a bold move, overtaking Meyer for 8th place. They are now locked in a tight battle. Valiner has also advanced to 15th place, surpassing Ptainalo. Sabine27 from Team Blast is making gains on Neo Texum, narrowing the gap by 2.0. Newkembocken and Laron again continue their battle for 20p. Newkembocken in a lower T290 and Laron again in a Chinook MK2. Bot Tokidokibri has advanced to 28p, surpassing Twix 560. Jump073 is making a strong push, closing in on Twix 560 by 6.3. Luke Runs has taken the lead from Amin San. Buxizro has moved up to 5th place after overtaking Sabine27. Amin San is leading the pack, followed closely by Luke Runs and Sarayan Bot. It's a close battle at the front as they navigate through the turns. Let's see if anyone can pull ahead in this exciting beginning. Super Lacroix and Suzanne Greenberg are fiercely contesting the 6th position. Super Lacroix is in a Porsche 906, while Suzanne Greenberg is piloting a Chinook MK2. Underoekasul has surged to 9th place, passing Finam Luki, who now sits in 10th after overtaking me. Bot Gaming Tofightconcer is making a rapid advance, closing the gap on Bot Tokidokibri by 574.9. Meanwhile, Buxizro has climbed to 4p, overtaking Suzanne Greenberg, who in turn moves up to 5p, overtaking Neo Texum. Underoekasul is making a strong push, closing the gap to Amy by 11.1. Finam Luki from Team Blue Star has advanced to 7p, overtaking Amy. However, Amy has swiftly moved up to 8p, overtaking Underoekasul. Super Lacroix is now in 10th place, successfully overtaking Meyer. Meyer has advanced to 11th place after overtaking Nogus 77, who is now in 12th place, having overtaken Underoekasul. V4L3N is making a move, narrowing the gap to Meyer by 5.2. NYST149 is gaining ground on Underoekasul, closing in by 40.3. JazzSax72 is also on the move, closing in on Twix 560 by 31.0. Jump073 is making a strong move, closing in on Cat TV by 568.9 units. Meanwhile, Ptainalo has made a good push and now sits in 16th place, overtaking Romans. Romans, however, has swiftly moved up to 17th, surpassing Mane Peter. Daron is closing in on Mane Peter, reducing the gap by 42.1. Sabine27 is quickly catching up to Wipe, closing the gap by 20.3. JazzSax72 is making a significant move, closing the gap by 564.2 to Jump073. Buxizro secures the 2nd position, passing Suzanne Greenberg. Suzanne Greenberg advances to 3rd place, overtaking Luke Runs. Daron again climbs to 18th place, passing Mane Peter. Neo Texum is rapidly closing in on Surian Bot, reducing the gap by 38.7. Similarly, Bot, Trush Crash 10 is swiftly catching up to Bot, U20 Plays, closing the gap by 44.3. Keep an eye on Neo Texum as they continue to reel in Surian Bot, now closing the gap by 38.7. Myers on the move, securing 8p with 4 overtakes. Sabine 27 is closing in on Newcomb, narrowing the gap by 93.7. Super Lacroix takes 7p after overtaking Meyer. Noga 77 is closing in on Gary 710, narrowing the gap by 8.1. Jazzax 72 is closing in on Cat TV, reducing the gap by 44.1. Unaroakasul has moved up to 9p, overtaking Finam Luki. Buxizro has taken the lead from Susanne Greenberg. Susanne Greenberg now in second place, overtaking Amin San. Noga 77 moves up to 13th, overtaking Ptenalo. Understood. We'll keep an eye on those movements. Buxizro is gaining on Amin San from Team Nafgum Kings, reducing the gap by 2.1. Bok Gaming Tofaikanser has gained ground, moving up to 28p by overtaking Bok Tokadokabri. Botlow Spread is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Sabine 27 by 61.0 units. Super Lacroix has surged to 6p, surpassing Neo Texum. The chase between Botlow Spread and Sabine 27 continues as the gap closes further. Daran is making a significant move, reducing the gap to NYST1 for 9 by 14.5. Meanwhile, Jump 073 is gaining ground on Botokadokabri, closing in by 6.6. Also, Neo Texum from Team Nafgum Kings has surged to 6p, overtaking Meyer. Welcome back, Greenfu 575. Great to have you back in the race car spectating squad. Racing car waving hand sign. Unaroakasul is making a remarkable push, reducing the gap to Meyer by 586.7. Meanwhile, Jump 073 is also closing in on Botokadokabri, narrowing the gap by 9.3. The competition is heating up. Hey, welcome back Jump Marine. Glad to have you back in the spectator's seat for some awesome AI race car action. Racing car party popper. V4L3NA is quickly closing in on Ptenalo, reducing the gap by 599.2. Jump 073 is also making a move, narrowing the gap to Botokadokabri by 3.8. Romans is making a rapid advance towards Peter, reducing the gap by 591.5. Additionally, Jump 073 is closing in on Botokadokabri, narrowing the gap by 4.2. Luke Runs is now in third place after overtaking Susanne Greenberg. Meanwhile, Jumby 073 is making gains on Botokadokabri, closing the gap by 3.0 seconds. The race is heating up as Surian Bot overtakes Neo Texum for fourth place. Neo Texum quickly responds by moving up to fifth, passing Susanne Greenberg. Meanwhile, John 073 is making moves, closing in on bot Tokidokibri. Exciting action on the track. Maya is closing in on Susanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 35.6. Also, Mene Peter has made a move, now in 16th place after overtaking Daran. Lacroix 1980 is closing in on White by 570.1 units. John 073 is also making gains on bot Gaming Till Falconser, reducing the gap by 3.8. Amy from Team Death Robots and Gary 710 are currently battling for the 10th position. Botlow Sprout has made a move up to 23rd place, overtaking Sabine 27. John 073 is steadily catching up to bot Gaming Till Falconser, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Bot Tokidokibri has dropped back to 12th position, while Cat_TV is gaining ground, narrowing the gap by 3.5 seconds. Sabine 27 is gaining ground on Newcambakken, closing the gap by 444.5. Luke Runs has surged to 2p, passing Sarayan Bot. Sarayan Bot has moved up to 3p, overtaking Buckseyes Row. Luke Runs has made a strong move into 2p, passing Buckseyes Row. My Name is Peter is steadily catching up to MYST1 for 9, closing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Romance has regained ground, now in 17p after overtaking Daran once more. Bot U20 Plays is making big gains on Bottle Sprout, closing the gap by 444.9 units. Sarayan Bot from Team Death Robots has advanced to 3p, overtaking Neo Texum. Neo Texum has moved up to 4p, surpassing Buckseyes Row. Susanne Greenberg is closing in on Buckseyes Row, reducing the gap by 42.8. White is also fast on the tail of Daran, closing the gap by 45.5. Exciting moments as these racers make their moves. Bot U20 Plays is swiftly closing in on Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by a whopping 39.9 units. Similarly, Cat TV is making gains on bot Gaming Till Falconser, narrowing the gap by 6.0 units. The competition is heating up. Cat_TV is now only 3.6 seconds behind bot Gaming Till Falconser, while JazzSax72 has closed the gap to bot Tokidokibri to just 4.3 seconds. Cat_TV is now in 29p after overtaking bot Gaming Till Falconser. JazzSax72 is making gains, closing in on bot Tokidokibri by 4.1 seconds. John 073 has advanced to 27th place, passing Sabine 27. JazzSax72 is narrowing the distance with bot Tokidokibri, reducing the gap by 4.0 seconds. Luke Runs is making a significant move, closing the gap to Amin-san by 41.3. At the same time, JazzSax72 is getting closer to bot Tokidokibri, closing the gap by 4.0. Cat TV has made a move up to 28th place, surpassing Sabine 27. JazzSax72 is steadily gaining ground on bot Tokidokibri, reducing the gap by 3.0 seconds. Newcambakken has advanced to 21p, surpassing Super Lacroix. Bot Tokidokibri is now at 30p, overtaking Sabine 27. Low Sprout has advanced to 22p, surpassing Super Lacroix. Low Sprout has advanced to 21p, overtaking Newcambacken. Jazzax 72 has climbed to 31p, surpassing Sabine 27. Jazzax 72 has overtaken Bot Tokidokibri and is now in 7th place. Bot U20 Plays has made a move, now at 23p after overtaking Super Lacroix. Meanwhile, Jazzax 72 is gaining ground on Bot Tokidokibri, closing in by 2.8 seconds. Bot Tokidokibri has advanced to 29p, surpassing Bot Gaming Tofaikanser. Jazzax 72 has surged to 30p, surpassing Bot Gaming Tofaikanser. Sarayanbot has advanced to 2nd place, surpassing Luke Runs. Meanwhile, Botlol Sprout and Newcambacken are fiercely contending for the 21st position. Botlol Sprout in a BMW 2002 and Newcambacken in a Lola T290 are locked in a battle. John 073 is making headway, closing the gap on Bot Trash Crash 10 by 3.9, while Jazzax 72 is also gaining ground, reducing the distance to Bot Tokidokibri by 4.6. John B073 is making gains on Super Lacroix, with the gap reduced by 2.8 seconds. Jazzax 72 is also closing in on Bot Tokidokibri, shrinking the gap by 2.3 seconds. Cat TV is making a move on Super Lacroix, narrowing the gap by 3.6 seconds. Jazzax 72 has advanced to 29p, overtaking Bot Tokidokibri. Finamluki and Gary 710 are neck and neck in a battle for 9p. John 073 is closing in on Bot Trash Crash 10, reducing the gap by 2.9. Cat TV is closing in on Super Lacroix, reducing the gap by 2.2. Finamluki and Gary 710 are neck and neck as they fight for the 9th position. Meanwhile, John 073 is making a strong push, narrowing the gap to Bot Trash Crash 10 by 3.9 seconds. Bot U20 Plays is making significant gains on Botlol Sprout, closing the gap by 569.1 units. Gary 710 has advanced to 9p, overtaking Finamluki from Team Blue Star. Gary 710 and Finamluki are currently in a heated battle for 9p. Sabine 27 is making a swift move, closing in on Bot Gaming Tofaikanser by 198.4 units. John 073 climbs to 24p, passing Bot Trash Crash 10. Jazzax 72 advances to 28p, overtaking Bot Tokidokibri. Buxizero is now just 3.2 seconds behind Neo Texan. Gary 710 has closed the gap to Unaro Ekasiol by 2.2 seconds. Romans is closing in on Namais Peter, narrowing the gap by 2.1 seconds. John 073 is rapidly catching up to Bot U20 Plays, reducing the gap by 534.7. Jump073 has made a significant move, closing in on bot, U20 plays by 2.0. Noga77 and V4L3NA are locked in a tight battle for the 12th position. Amy has advanced to 10p, passing Finamluki. Keep an eye on the intense battle between Amy and Finamluki for 10p. Meanwhile, Jump073 is reducing the gap to bot, U20 plays by 2.2 seconds. Gary_710 has made a strong move up to 8p, overtaking Unaro. They are now locked in a battle for 8p with Gary_710 in a lower T290 and Unaro in a Porsche 906. Additionally, Noga77 and V4L3N_ are fiercely contesting the 12th position. Unaro has advanced to 8th position, successfully overtaking Amy. However, Amy from Team Death Robots has retaliated and is now in 9th place, surpassing Gary710. Amy and Gary710 are currently engaged in a tight battle for the 9th position. Boktokidokibri is closing in on Jasak72, reducing the gap by 552.9. Neo Texan has moved up to 2p, overtaking Luke Runs. Buxizro from Team Quark Express is reeling in Surayan Bot, closing the gap by 2.3. Bot Gaming To Fight Cancer is narrowing the gap to Boktokidokibri by 570.9. Suzanne Greenberg has overtaken Surayan Bot for 5p. Cat TV is closing in on bot, Trush Crash 10 by 3.5. Meyer is really making a move, closing the gap by 41.9 on Surayan Bot. Meanwhile, Unaro and Gary710 are locked in a battle for 10p, with Unaro in a Porsche 906 and Gary710 in a Lola T290. Cat TV is making an impressive move, closing the gap on Jump073 by 7.3 seconds. Unaro has advanced to 8th place, surpassing Amy. Bot, Trush Crash 10 has also made progress, now in 24th place after overtaking Jump073. V4L3NA is on a roll, overtaking for cars to secure the 9th position. Meanwhile, Danilo is also making moves, overtaking for cars to claim 10th place. It's a fierce battle as V4L3NA now holds 9th position after overtaking Danilo. Finamluki is now at 9p, overtaking Amy from Team Death Robots. Amy has risen to 10p, overtaking Gary710. Gary710 has advanced to 11p, surpassing Noga77. Buxizro from Team Quark Express now at 2p, overtaking Neo Texan. Manamai Speeter moves up to 13p, overtaking V4L3NA. Jump073 closing in on bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.0. Romans is making a strong move, gaining on MYST1 for 9 and closing the gap by 23.2. Buxizro has surged to 2nd place, passing Luke Runs. Meanwhile, Luke Runs has now moved up to 3rd, overtaking Neo Texan from Team Navgun Kings. Neo Texan from Team Navgun Kings is closing in on Surayan Bot, reducing the gap by 19.4 seconds. Surayan Bot has advanced to 4p, overtaking Neo Texan. Now, Neo Texan is narrowing the gap to Sir Iron Bot from Team Death Robots by 19.4 seconds. John073 is closing in on Bot U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Bot Tokidokibri has advanced to 28p, surpassing Bot Gaming Tofaikanser. Bot Gaming Tofaikanser has moved up to 29p, overtaking Jessax 72. Wow, Wag is making a move, closing in on Romans by 6.5. Bot Gaming Tofaikanser is also gaining ground, narrowing the gap to Bot Tokidokibri by 5.2. Unaroekasul is on the move, overtaking Finamluki and moving up to 8p. Finamluki is now in 8th place after overtaking Unaroekasul. Meanwhile, John073 is catching up to Bot U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.8 seconds. Lacroix 1980 is making an impressive move, closing the gap to WAG by 38.7. Amy has made a great advancement, now at 9p, overtaking Unaroekasul. Similarly, Ptanalo has also progressed to 14p, overtaking MYST149. Luke Runs has made a solid move, taking over 2p from Bucksizero. John073 is steadily gaining on Bot U20 plays, reducing the gap by 3.6. Cat TV is making headway, closing in on Bot Trash Crash 10 by 4.0. Daron again is rapidly closing the gap on Manamai Speeder by 25.3 units. Bot Gaming Tofaikanser is catching up to Bot Tokidokibri, reducing the gap by 576.5 units. Sorian Bot from Team Death Robots has advanced to 3p, overtaking Bucksizero from Team Quark Express. Neo Texan successfully overtakes Bucksizero, securing the 4th position. Susanne Greenberg is making gains on Bucksizero, closing in by 3.5. Romans moves up to 17th place, overtaking Daron once more. John073 is making significant headway, reducing the gap to Bot U20 plays by 2.1. Wag is making impressive progress, once again closing the gap on Daron by 7.3 seconds. Gary_710 has successfully overtaken Unaroekasul, moving up to 10th position. They are now engaged in a heated battle for the 10th spot. Both drivers are showcasing their skills with a Lola T290 and a Porsche 906, respectively. Meanwhile, Wag is steadily closing the gap to Daron by 3.0 as their duel continues. Sorian Bot has advanced to 2p, surpassing Luke Runs. Gary710 and Unaroekasul are engaged in a battle for 10p. Gary710 is piloting a Lola T290, and Unaroekasul is behind the wheel of a Porsche 906. MYST149 is gaining on Ptanalo, reducing the gap by 2.1. John073 is making impressive gains, closing the gap on Bot U20 plays by 4.8. Meanwhile, Cat TV has climbed to 25p, successfully overtaking Bot Trash Crash 10. Bot U20 plays has been overtaken by John073, who has significantly reduced the gap by 2.6 seconds. Finamluki and Amy are in a tight battle for the 8th position. Onoro Ekasuel and Gary 710 are currently duking it out for the 10th spot, with Onoro Ekasuel in a Porsche 906 and Gary 710 in a Lola T290. Meanwhile, Danilo and MYST 149 are locked in a duel for 14th place, with Danilo in a Porsche 906 and MYST 149 in a Cooper Type 61 Monaco. John 073 is gaining on bot, U20 plays, closing the gap by 5.2. Jazzsax 72 is closing in on Sabine 27, reducing the gap by 543.7. Onoro Ekasuel has climbed to 10p, overtaking Gary 710. Gary 710 is making moves, now in 10th place after overtaking Onoro Ekasuel. Meanwhile, John 073 is gaining on bot, U20 plays, closing the gap by 3.0. MYST 149 is catching up to V4L3NA, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Similarly, John 073 is closing in on bot, U20 plays, cutting the gap by 2.0 seconds. John 073 is making a move, closing in on bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.8. Sabine 27 is making a significant move, closing the gap on bot gaming till Fight-Cancer by 381.3 units. John 073 is making a strong comeback, closing the gap on bot, U20 plays by 2.5 seconds. Sabine 27 has narrowed the gap to bot gaming till Fight-Cancer by 3.7. John 073 is making moves, overtaking bot, U20 plays for the 23rd position. They are in a tight battle as they maneuver their Porsche 909 Berg Spider and Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ. John 073 is making gains, closing the gap on Bottle Sprout by 2.1. Cat TV is also closing in on bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.7. Sabine 27 is not far behind, closing in on bot gaming till Fight-Cancer by 3.9. John 073 is making ground on Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by 3.4. Cat_TV is also closing in on bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 3.4. Sabine 27 is gaining on bot gaming till Fight-Cancer, closing the gap by 4.7. John 073 is gaining on Bottle Sprout, closing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Meanwhile, Cat TV is closing in on bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Sabine 27 is also making progress, narrowing the gap on bot gaming till Fight-Cancer by 3.8 seconds. Luke is making gains, reducing the gap to Aminsan by 5.9. Sabine 27 is also closing in on bot gaming till Fight-Cancer, narrowing the gap by 9.6. Luke from Nafgum Kings is impressively gaining ground on Aminsan with a 5.9 gap reduction. Nukambakim is being closely pursued by Lil Sprout, who has impressively narrowed the gap by 27.6. Similarly, Sabine 27 is gaining on gaming to Fight-Cancer, closing in by 5.5. The competition is getting intense. John073 is gaining on Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by 3.5. Cat TV is catching up to Bot, U20 plays, closing in by 2.5. Sabine 27 is also closing in on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, shrinking the gap by 2.2. John073 is closing in on Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by 2.9. Cat TV is also narrowing the distance to Bot, U20 plays by 3.0. Sabine 27 is making gains on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, closing the gap by 2.9. John073 is closing in on Bottle Sprout, reducing the gap by 2.9 seconds. Cat TV is closing in on Bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 2.7 seconds. Sabine 27 is closing in on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, reducing the gap by 4.5 seconds. Sabine 27 is making a strong move, closing the gap to Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert by 6.7. John073 is also gaining ground, narrowing the distance to Bottle Sprout by 3.8. Cat_TV is not far behind, closing the gap to Bot, U20 plays by 3.0. Sabine 27 is rapidly catching up to Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, reducing the gap by 9.7. John073 is also closing in on Bottle Sprout, narrowing the gap by 4.1. Cat_TV is making ground on Bot, U20 plays, cutting the gap by 3.4. Welcome back Lion422. Great to have you back in the race car spectating squad. Sabine 27 is closing in on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, reducing the gap by 6.8. Buck's Row from Team Quark Express is catching up to Neo Texan, closing the gap by 4.8. John073 is closing in on Bottle Sprout, narrowing the gap by 3.8. Welcome back VTO Gorgon. It's great to have you back in the race car spectating crew. Let's buckle up and enjoy the R-driven action together. Racing car party popper. Daron again has advanced to 17p, surpassing Romans. They are now locked in a battle for 17p. Meanwhile, Cat TV is closing in on Bot, U20 plays, reducing the gap by 3.3 seconds. Bot, U20 plays is making a swift move, catching up to Bottle Sprout with a 41.3 gap reduction. Finamluki has climbed to 8p, overtaking Amy. Finamluki and Amy are dueling for 8p. Sabine 27 is gaining on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, closing the gap by 5.6. Amy advances to 8p, passing Finamluki. V4L3NA moves up to 13p, overtaking MYST149. Sabine 27 is making some impressive progress, reducing the gap to Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert by 9.1. At the same time, Cat TV is also closing in on Bottle Sprout, narrowing the distance by 2.2. And once again, Sabine 27 is making a significant move, reeling in Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert by 9.1. Sabine 27 is closing in on Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert, reducing the gap by 5.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Cat TV is also making gains on Bottle Sprout, narrowing the gap by 2.0 seconds. And once again, Sabine 27 is steadily reducing the gap to Bot Gaming Toe Fight Concert by 5.1 seconds. Bot Tokidokibri is making a rapid advance, reducing the distance to Bot Trush Crash 10 by 58.1. Cat_TV is also gaining ground on Bottle Sprout, closing in by 3.1. And once again, Bot Tokidokibri is closing in on Bot Trush Crash 10, this time by 58.1. Sabine27 from Team Blast is making a strong move, reducing the gap with Bot Gaming Toe Fightcancer by 5.7. Meanwhile, Cat TV is also closing in on Bottle Sprout, narrowing the gap by 2.4. Sabine27 continues to reel in Bot Gaming Toe Fightcancer, shrinking the gap by 5.7.